To folks, welcome to another episode of So Bad It's Good. We're doing something a little different today because usually I recap a show by myself, but after watching part one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, I realized that it was going to kill me. It truly was going to kill me, and I have been wanting to podcast with this gentleman on this show for so long, so today it is finally happening because he is a Salt Lake City connoisseur. Not only is he is the host of the amazing podcast Reality Court with Anna Kinkosis, but he also hosts Sister Wives, Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided. And don't forget his Patreon, Shit Talk with Ace and Caitlin. The one, the only, Ace Fanning. Welcome to the show.
Wow. I feel so important and special. I feel like that never happened. So thank you for that.
Listen, I mean, first off, I do have to mention, like, how sad are you that we're coming to an end of the Sister Wives season?
Oh, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. This show is, and what people don't understand, because so many people, when they ask me, like, what do you podcast about? And I have to be like, well, Sister Wives. They're like, people still watch. And I'm like, everyone watches because they hate it. Like, no one's watching this being like, God, I just love those Browns. You know, we all hate them. We're all sick of them. And there is something in us that feels joy in hating them.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, I really come to accept this about myself, is that I love to hate Cody Brown. And yeah. I have to also admit he makes fantastic reality television. And those two, I really have a hard time accepting that. But when he was working out in front of Robin and he was just like, oh, you like this? And he was like working out in the garage. I was like, this is so pure comedy. I couldn't get enough.
It's crazy because he's so unhinged. He is Lisa Barlow in another forum, you know, like just a different font. Like he thinks that he's incredible. He talks about like, oh, you know, everyone always loves me. And it's like, nobody loves you. Your own children don't even love you anymore.
Well, he did this apology tour, if you don't watch the show, which is so funny that TLC actually advertised it as an apology tour to the point where I got confused. And I thought they were selling tickets to a live event where you watch Cody apologize on stage. And then I realized it was just promotion for the show. And he goes to each of his like former wives. But like the moment one of the wives questions him, he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. Geez, God. You know, he just immediately like, hey, why don't you like talk to your kids? Oh, it's not about the kids right now. It's not about the kids.
I love that. Like, they're like, well, you know, do you think that you could apologize? He's like, shut up. I'm apologizing for the short list of stuff. And that is it. I'm not going to apologize for any other things. I'm like, oh, okay. Definitely doing this for the women, not yourself at all.
It's so good. So Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, though, you're on point with Lisa Barlow. It's just, you know, it's drawing Cody Brown from memory, you might draw Lisa Barlow because she really employs a lot of the same tactics. In fact, I thought this episode, Lisa Barlow was announcing her candidacy for presidency.
I wish.
Thought she really seems to be able to never take any real accountability. And she had a new thing in this episode where she started, I don't know if she started behaving like a robot, like a Waymo, where she just was like still.
She wouldn't move.
And it was really impressive.
Very. You know what? When I have a shirt on, I have a very fat neck. And when I have a shirt on with a collar, I do the same thing. My whole body turns to do anything. And I feel like that's kind of like what she was doing. She's like, I don't want to mess my hair up. I don't want to do anything. So she's just perfectly trying to move. She must have like twisted her neck badly or something. She could not look over at Mary.
No, I thought she typed into ChatGPT of what's a powerful performance. And ChatGPT was like, just stay still. They cannot do anything to you if you are still. That's all you have to be is still. Yeah. And I just feel like she committed to that so hard when Mary was like throwing things at her, which I thought were, I mean, Ace, like tell us where you stand with this cast, because I was thinking today, once again, how the hell is Mary the most like honest and likable person potentially on this cast at this point?
Here's the thing about Mary Cosby. I liked her at first. I didn't love her. Then I hated her. And then she arose. I mean, people say she's not God, but tell me someone else he is risen. She is risen. She came back from the dead, a completely better person. I love her so much. She can do absolutely no wrong in my eyes. They're like, oh, she's got a cult. And it's like, okay, where do I sign up? I want to be a part of the cult. You know, that's
to your point. I started tithing to Mary's church last week.
good.
I mean, I didn't even ask. I just started sending money because I was that impressed with Mary this season.
Why would you I hate to say it, but doesn't every church take money from their people? You know?
I mean, I did watch that 3-part TLC, docu-series. And, Mary even brings up in this that, some people might not understand the Pentecostal church, but so many churches tithe. I feel like I'm making excuses for Mary because obviously there was some.
This is a safe space to do that, though.
Yeah. I mean, all churches ask for money, very much so. I mean, my concern with the TLC thing was give me how much money they were bringing in. Tell me exact figures. How many people does Faith Pentecostal have as parishioners? I wanted to know real, actual hard data, which they didn't see. They had. Because she does have a closet full of fancy crap. What is she taking in?
Okay, but here's my thought process, and maybe this is hard for me because I cannot be peer pressured. You can't make me do anything I don't want to do. It'll never happen. And so
dude, I asked you to be on this podcast, and you were like, yeah,
I wanted to do this. This is something I want to do.
Yeah.
But I just am you can't peer pressure me, and so I don't understand when people are I gave her all the money that my house was worth.
Yeah, I
know. Okay.
Yeah. It really, I guess, part of me is maybe I've just never believed in something that much where I would give everything I have to that. And I mean, but I will say, I don't think that docuseries, and they even bring it up in this, that it didn't seem like it made a dent in Mary Cosby's popularity, but also you have to weigh it against the other cast members, where all of these cast members, maybe barring Angie a little bit, they all have, by the end of this, come off as extremely unlikable to me.
Yes, but that's reality television. I don't want to watch Real Housewives of Dallas had Stephanie. No, I can't remember her last name now, but I love Stephanie in the way of I like you as a human being. Kyle Richards is someone I like as a human being.
I like her better than a reality star at this point.
Yeah. And I'm just but there's also people I'm sorry, but Danielle Staub, season 1 and 2 of Real Housewives of New Jersey, I would die for that woman. But I hate her. I hate her.
Yeah,
but that's exactly how reality TV works. We have these people and we don't like them. Reality TV has to make you feel something in order to work. Whether that's love or hate, it doesn't matter. People watch Love on the Spectrum and it works because they love these people, but people watch
I hate
Housewives.
All those people on Love on the Spectrum. Are you kidding me? Those are really, I hate them. That's why I was wait till Love on the Spectrum takes a dark turn. Wait till they get their Jax Taylor on Love on the Spectrum, because it's going to come at some point.
Yeah, but it's we just want to feel something. Yeah. We're all so fucking numb. We're all medicated up and shit. So it's make me feel something,
Oh, how dare you say that I'm a pitter popper ace? How dare you?
Do we all agree that she is popping something?
Well, I would almost feel better if she admitted was popping something, because if you're not, that means that sometimes she just stares into space and she's not connected to reality for good amounts of time on this reality show. So I was kind of hoping that she would say at times I've dabbled.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Meredith falls into that Lisa camp where she is so busy however you say it, she's so busy distracting people and trying to throw something else in the mix, which in this one, we got Brittany Bateman, she's anti-Semitic. It's Andy, I will answer that, but first I would like to accuse a cast member of being anti-Semitic. It was a wild pivot.
What I love too is it's I promise I'm going to answer that after this, but it was there was no coming back to the question after that. It was oh, fuck. All right.
Now that we cleared anti-Semitism up, I'd like to get back to this airplane finally.
Yeah, it was oh, shoot. And the craziest part about the whole bigotry stuff is that was Meredith's nail artist. He only did Brittany's nails one time for free.
Exactly. And he approached her and said, I'm Meredith's nail tech. And Brittany, like any reality star, was like, I can get I can get my nails done for free with a post. Hell
It
yeah.
was on the news. It was on the news. It was on social media. I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you what, Brittany Bateman doesn't pay attention to anything other than
it doesn't
Brittany
have her
Bateman.
name in it.
Right. So she's like, I didn't know about this story. I had no idea who this person was. He asked, will you do my nails for free? And I said, yes.
I was very confused by that. And I watched it a couple times because I maybe I'm not getting a piece why Brittany. And by the way, I understand a lot of people do not like Brittany Bateman. And I understand she's very performative on a cast of performative people, but she's really good at being performative. But I still don't understand why she needs to apologize to Meredith when shouldn't Meredith be apologizing to everyone for putting a spotlight on this guy in the first place?
Right. Here's the thing. I'm actually a Brittany apologist. I know there's not many of us out there. And sometimes it's hard to fly that Brittany flag. It's not always the easiest flag to be flown, but I am a little bit of a Brittany apologist because I'm like, she's just, and I say this from the best place in my heart, she's not that bright. You know, I don't think if someone says to her, can you write me a good review? She's not going to research into why people are leaving you bad reviews. She's not going to look. She's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I love her, but she's not the brightest.
She is she to me is like an emulation of a lot of actors that I worked with on Lifetime movies. You know, it's like, and I kind of mean that as a compliment, but there's a certain type of person. She reminds me of a lot of actors that are kind of in their heads so much. And I think there is this kind of Arrested Development with Brittany where I think her own daughters have aged way past their mom.
Oh,
they are more mature than their mom. But at the same time, Brittany has given us so many ridiculously funny moments that I even love how ecstatic she is to be on that stage where she's waving to the camera and, she's just by the pomp and circumstance. The unfortunate thing with the cast as a whole is that you see that they're not, they've not accepted her yet. And I feel, I know we're jumping ahead, but I did this, 2 seasons ago where I was like, I don't know if Salt Lake is going to be okay after the Monica Garcia departure. And it was even better in some ways.
Yes.
But I don't know at this point. I feel like there's a real breaking point. Do you feel that way at all? Or you're like, no, we can get another season out of this?
So I've been floating this idea around, and I hope someone at Bravo is listening, because what I think we need to start doing with Housewives is after the reunion films, we take them, we put them up at some sort of spiritual retreat for a week all together. No cameras,
Send
no
them to
nothing.
Coyote Pass or something.
Yeah, and get them to come back together and see each other for the real human beings that they are without cameras. Then after that, give them a little bit longer of a break, then start filming. And I think that we would get so much better results from these people.
So almost like a team building retreat without the maybe ropes course, but actually just being say, hey, we're not talking about what goes on here. This is not for film. This is not for sponsored posts. We're just actually getting to know each other and going from seeing if we can get back to a zero in a sense.
And I think that if they could do that, it would be it'd almost be like it's team building, and then over the season, what we can do is tear apart that team. And that's what we like to watch.
Exactly.
And then we come back together and then we tear apart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've said this till I'm blue in the face, and now it seems like the Housewives, I don't think they got it from me, but they're now Tamara says this all the time of I'm like, it's about conflict and resolution. And I'm like, Tamara, you don't even deserve to say that because you don't ever, I don't even, you're saying it, but I don't think you understand it. Conflict resolution. But I think Salt Lake City cast now is dealing with something because they're 6 seasons in, is that accountability. Is the only person, if you watch this second part, that takes any sort of accountability for anything in their life was Mary Cosby. Mary Cosby had a very real response in regards to Robert Jr. and saying, yep, he went over to his ex-wife's house and, I don't know why he's going over there. He thinks she wants him to rescue her, but that's not true at all. He's delusional and he has to go to, she was honest about that situation instead of making excuses and lying about it, which I believe a lot of those other housewives do.
Right. I feel like Whitney was a lot more honest this season than we've seen her. I enjoyed.
My business is a failure because of Justin.
I'm on this Helen journey, and Justin's got these new teeth that we're still paying off because they're so big. And
by the way, Wild Rose Beauty, all the profits went to Justin's mouth.
Absolutely. I mean, have you seen worse? I mean, you're in LA, like you see bad veneers. Like,
we are now about to talk about my favorite underwear company in the world. Yes, of course, I am talking about MeUndies. You know what's better than flowers that die in 3 days? Matching underwear, of course. Seriously, MeUndies has cracked the code on Valentine's Day gifts with their matching underwear for couples. It's cute, it's intimate, and you will wear them more than once. MeUndies makes matching underwear specifically for couples. They have adorable prints, different cuts for each of you, all made from their signature ultramodal fabric that feels impossibly soft. I'm wearing them right now. That's right. At this point in time, I now have 8 pairs of MeUndies, and my God, it really truly helps me get out of the bed in the morning when I know I'm going to be wearing MeUndies. Unlike other brands just slapping hearts on generic underwear, MeUndies designs coordinating prints from the ground up. Now, their Valentine's Day collection has prints made for two. It's the kind of gift that makes you smile every time you put them on. Now, there's over 30 million pairs sold and 90,000 5-star reviews. People love these because they actually fit well and they feel amazing. Their first pair promise, a 45-day risk-free, means if your first pair doesn't work, and they're going to make it right. No hassle. Every style comes in coordinated prints so you and your partner can match. Boxer briefs, trunks, briefs for him, bikinis, thongs, boy shorts, cheeky styles for her. Same print, different fits. Valentine's Day, February 14th. So, if you want these delivered in time, order soon. This is the gift that keeps on giving long after the holiday's over. Make this Valentine's Day one to remember with matching underwear from MeUndies. To get exclusive deals up to 50% off, go to MeUndies.com/SoBad and enter promo code SOBAD. That's MeUndies.com/SoBad, promo code SOBAD for 50% off. Well, we were at BravoCon, and I will say I did not a Meredith Marks seizure, but it is when you see some of these people open and shut their mouth, there's a strobe-like effect around Bravo celebrities.
Yeah.
You know, you have Carl. I mean, no, I know Carl's sensitive about his teeth from Summer House, but a lot of these people have really big white chompers.
Yeah, I'm like, good God. Seems hard to maneuver your life with those. Just doing anything. The other person who I do feel like owns up to shit for the most part is Bronwyn.
Yes, and I really do like Bronwyn, but there is something that I'm still, I feel bad because I really do gas her up so much. There is still something where I'm like, it seems like even with the revelation that we're going to get next week that her and Todd, the Todd father, are separated. It feels like I hate to say it, there's a calculation in it where it's like, I'll say it on the reunion stage and that's going to be a moment. Or maybe I'm obviously dark-hearted, but like I've just seen so many reality television shows that I think of things as storyline and surprises because everybody seems surprised, which also is wild because it also shows once again that their coworkers not an actual friend group because nobody else on stage knew this.
That is true. I do struggle with the thing that I've always said is great about Salt Lake is there's history there. Like these women actually have history. It's like what we used to have from Jersey, what we used to have from New York, what we used to have from like all the housewives started this way. And then Beverly Hills is the worst. It turns into a casting couch. It's just like who's coming in next season as a new housewife, but it's an actress basically. Like it's terrible.
Fresh meat that they can hopefully bond over and tear apart the new fresh meat. Like Amanda Francis, I'm not a huge fan of her on this season, but it's like she doesn't really have a relationship with anybody in this cast. Like now we're just going, somebody that bought Kyle's house is coming on the cast. That's the that's the connecting piece, and it's just like fresh meat to like old lions.
And I think that nobody's happier about her joining the cast than Sutton because now Sutton's joined the group. It's like, God, we couldn't really stand you before, but this woman's so bad. Sure, we'll let you talk shit about her.
I see what you said when you used to make fun of me. I say, she's horrible. Just horrible.
Sutton Strack is one for me that I don't think I'll ever like her. I don't think it's possible.
It is fun. I mean, this is what I also love about reality television is that it's so personal in the sense of who we like and who we don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I can appreciate Lisa and Meredith from a purely comedic level. Like I think the way that they both say things I sometimes will those are the parts that I rewind and I just keep going over in my head, but I never agree with any of Lisa's moves. But I think this one started to really, by the way, it's a big thing on our show is that I talk about Lisa saying frustrated because she can't say frustrated.
Yes, I loved that.
And then today, you guys, I got so many messages. It was so exciting. Lisa goes, I'm totally frustrated. Frustrated, or however you say that word, which means we got to her, guys. We got to her.
Good. That means she's listening.
Listen, I think a lot of people came at it, but I will take that as a personal victory. And if we can teach people how to talk, what better? Have you ever taught Cody Brown anything?
No, we like that they say everything wrong. Because it adds to. I have found myself now, because I take notes whenever I watch shows, and now I've found that I spell rel and fell every time. I never say real. It's taken over me now. I'm always like, it's the Roald Dahl, Did you
see that article where Cody obviously reads the New York Times word of the day?
No.
Because I forgot where I saw it, but it was dead on where they were saying this was the New York Times word of the day. And then they were showing clips where Cody would shoehorn this word in. What was the one recently where they're like, do you even know what that means, Cody? Do you even know what that word means?
Well, he does culpable a lot. He does, what was the, verboten.
Yeah, that was it. Verboten. That was it. Verboten.
And I was like, and listen, I'm a product of the Arizona public school system. I'm not smart. I'm pretty stupid. But I was like, I was appreciative when other people were like, what the fuck does verboten mean? Usually I don't know the words, but when other people didn't know, I felt good about myself.
Wait, where did you go to high school in Arizona?
Mountain Ridge.
I went to Horizon.
Okay, I went to Paradise Valley for a semester. And then, tried to off myself. And so my parents were like, maybe let's try somewhere else. And so it was
you really are a product of the Arizona school system.
I couldn't even.
Darkness.
That's the only way you can handle that stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way you can handle the depression is making jokes of it. But I feel like with them, here's the thing about Sister Wives. Sister Wives has been on for 20 seasons. Look at the transformation Heather Gay has had in 6 seasons. And then we look at Janelle, and that woman is still sporting a white capri like it's no one's business. Yeah. And that's what I love about that show. They will never be celebrities. They'll never be stars. They're always going to be just like us.
Mary's commitment to a funny shirt. A shirt with a funny saying. She loves a shirt with a funny, because she's a funny gal, you guys. And you guys, I know we're talking about Salt Lake, but I'm sorry, I'm just up. She's with this new guy, Ron.
Yeah,
Ron's in the picture, and I don't know if he's still in the picture because I didn't get to watch Sunday's episode yet. But I can't tell what Ron's deal is yet, but I get worried.
Ron and her are not together. Okay. Ron has dated other people since then, but they've got a really call connection. We're like call connection. We're like
call. Understand each other.
I'm like, cool. But here's the thing. It's okay that we go back and forth because polygamy comes from Utah. Salt Lake, Utah. It's intertwined.
It really is. The mean streets of Salt Lake City and Utah is so prevalent in a lot of these shows. Salt Lake City, to back to that, I wrote this last night, was the other thing is, and the producers seem to be okay with this, is that they leave a bunch of mysteries that they have no intention on solving. We still don't know what happens on the airplane. We get hit with immediately. Angie does a carrot top and pulls out a scroll and tries to prove to us that Lisa Barlow has created Finsta accounts on Instagram to troll Angie and probably some of the other cast. We never get clarification. We never stop to be like, or Andy never stops to be like, okay, let's really try to get an answer here. Yeah. That's confusing. The other thing, the anti-Semitism, confusing. There are so many mysteries. And I think what's frustrating is will never they will never tell us what the actual truth is, even though I know production knows.
Here's the thing. I still don't believe Heather's black eye story. I don't believe that Jen Shaw gave it to her. I think she was like, well, Jen Shaw's in jail. She can't say anything. So yeah, that's how I got the black eye. It was Jen Shaw. And
that's the only reason I would want to see. That's one of the only reasons I'm happy Jen Shaw is out of jail, because I'm like, I hope Heather is No, that's not a nice thing to say. But I just feel like I'm really confused. There are so many things I'm confused about where it's like, dude, I watched like however many seasons of Lost there were. Like I've already done mystery shows. I want Salt Lake to tell me what happened. With the airplane story, it has really changed in the sense of I didn't do anything. And now there is, well, I did do this and I was upset about this. It's like slowly changed where I'm like, oh, 3 seasons from now, we'll actually get the truth. But Lisa Barlow, did she do the Finstas?
Absolutely. I fully believe that. And in regards to the plane situation, I feel like the more they talk about it, the more I get confused. And I feel like we know more about that missing Malaysian flight than we know about this flight. Like, Brittany's all of a sudden talking and she's like, we were on descent. I'm like, were you nosediving? Like, it felt like everyone on the plane was like holding on for dear life. Like, oh my God, I look and the stewardesses they're completely in their jump seats or whatever. And everyone, the oxygen masks are falling down. And Meredith's like, I've got to get this on so I get back to Brooks. You know, he didn't get to tell me Happy Mother's Day. And I was just like, this feels like, I thought it was the entire flight. And now everything's really happening during the descend into. Like,
yeah. I mean, it feels like it was potentially a 2-hour descent, but like that was another thing that I don't feel like it was fully cleared up at all. But in regards to the Finsta accounts with Lisa, I did go on to check out this account. Yeah. And the account is Candace Story 7. But if you put it in, there's 2 Candace Story 7s. There's a Candace Story 7 and then a Candace_Story 77. They're both the same profile picture and they both say brow tinting, shaping and lashes, Sherman Oaks, California. And there's only a couple followers and a couple people following them. I think a lot more since last night. And I'm like, yes, Lisa Barlow would create a Finsta that is a brow specialist in Sherman Oaks, California.
Can you imagine if you're Candace and you're a real person and you're like, what? My profile picture's up on Salt Lake. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Wait. Candace. Sorry, I'm just going to do a quick Google search. Candace Story. See if I can go get a brow tint from her. And
I honestly, it's so funny too because I need a brow tint. I look like a ghost. I don't have eyebrows.
I do want to help out small businesses if it's possible.
It's our duty.
How to? Okay.
Wait. The problem is the last name like Story. Oh.
Okay. Well, it is saying search for Candace Story or related terms. She posts her work and location near 14945 Ventura Boulevard.
Oh.
I mean, does this person? Okay. Well, you know, I'll reach out to her after this show and maybe try to see if I can talk to her. That would really get me some podcasting awards. But also, I feel like this is something Lisa would do. I feel like all of those ladies have Finstas. What is it? I mean, what does it really matter, Lisa, if you let us have this one? If you're just honest about this one of like, of course I do. You bitches talk all the time about me. I am going to find out what you're doing.
Lisa it's so crazy to me because she will she could get a speeding ticket for going 90 in a school zone and she's still going to be like, I was going 25. Like,
what's even school? You don't even need school.
Right, I'm just like, I don't know if she's ever owned up for anything. And I love that this season, John Barlow was like, I fucking hate you.
What was up with that scene? And I know they're going to talk about it next week, according to the preview. But like, also, I know John Barlow is her biggest fan. I saw him just videoing her every panel she was on. Like, he seems like he is obsessed with her, which is great for a husband to be obsessed with their wife. But at the same time, what was that scene? Was that him breaking script and being like, I'm going to fuck you on this scene? You think the scene's going to go one way? I'm going to throw a curveball at you, Lisa.
Or here's my other theory. Is it possible that she said, I need you to come for me. I need you to be upset with me because I do not want them talking about these lawsuits. I'd rather them talk about our marriage because our marriage is fine.
Oh, we're in too deep, Ace. We're in too deep. That is such a dark thought. And my God, if that is true, I mean, That's what it is. This show has become a show about the making of this show.
Yeah.
Everything happens off camera on this show. We see a bunch of unseen footage. Last week we saw Lisa after a scene. Who was it that she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's not do that again." To Bronwyn. "I promise, Bronwyn, I love you. I'm so sorry." So it's like, it is funny to think about, like, on camera, they'll get into these fights and then immediately afterwards they'll be like, "I'm so sorry. That was crazy. Good scene. Good scene."
This episode, we got to see her, like, I've never seen her come across so desperate on camera, but when she was trying to get Jared Osmond to talk about Bronwyn's husband, come on, you gotta say it.
Going to
like,
Dubai for ED medicine, she said.
I'm like, okay, like, do we think that Todd's not taking ED medicine? Like,
wait, but also, Ace, I feel like, I don't want to be all pro-America here, but I feel like we have good ED medicine that he could get. Did you hear that, folks? That is Olipop. Now, Olipop is a new kind of soda that combines the classic soda taste with the benefits of a functional ingredient blend to support digestive health. Olipop is truly reimagining soda with high fiber and low sugar. And the exciting thing is that they are launching their new limited edition flavor, Shirley Temple. Olipop's take on the Shirley Temple is like the classic you remember, but brighter, bolder, and made with real ingredients that you can actually feel good about. Now, the original mocktail, they're releasing this just in time for Dry January. It's the original mocktail that's made not drinking fun, and it's a flavor everyone can feel good about. Olipop has quickly become my favorite new thing to drink. That's really good, and it supports digestive health with real ingredients and less sugar. So, here's what you do. Get a free can of Olipop. Buy any 2 cans of Olipop in store, and they're going to pay you back for 1. It works on any flavor, any retailer. Now, you got to go to drinkolipop.com/so bad. Olipop is sold online, drinkolipop.com, plus Amazon, and it's available in the soda aisle and with the chilled beverages at thousands of retailers nationwide, including Walmart and Target. Trust me, folks, you are going to love this.
I mean, I just feel like that's a long trip for just, I mean, Hims now has it. Like, it comes to your door.
Use code ACE20 and SOBAD20 at checkout, you guys.
Yes, please.
But also, he could have been in Dubai because he also tracks down those Starbucks mugs. Todd is a collector of Starbucks mugs.
Yes.
So it could be like a 2 for 1. Like, while I'm here, I might as well get my ED medicine.
He is, I think, one of the worst and best house husbands we've ever had in history.
I am so sad that he will potentially not be on next season.
Thank you.
And I'm kind of hoping where there's like a Say Anything subplot, and I know that's an old reference, but like Todd has like a boombox outside of Bronwyn's, window or something, and it's like, "In your eyes, the light, the heat," and then just Todd with a boombox, like.
But the only way that's going to happen is if it's Bronwyn with the boombox. Todd's not coming. Todd's not coming. And
you filthy animals on this show.
I'm also worried too that with him that it's like, dude, what if Bronwyn's not rich anymore? I don't like that.
It's like, well, there was this movie, Rocky V, you guys, and I know a lot of people don't. If you follow the Rocky franchise, Rocky IV, he fought the Russian, which is like a very heated rivalry thing now. But then in Rocky V, all of a sudden he lost all his money because of bad financial dealings, and he had to go move back into the place that he originally lived with his family. And it was it was a horrible movie on so many accounts. But like, I don't want to see Rocky poor. Like, I don't want to see Bronwyn, I don't want to see her collecting cans, of like, I've got a group activity. We're going to collect aluminum,
Right. And it's like, if Christian Siriano's not willing to dress her, like, what's she doing? Going to Kohl's? Like, I don't want to see Bronwyn at Kohl's.
I'm rich in Kohl's cash.
Yeah, I'm just like, no. Like, you have to have a certain level of money. It's the same way I feel still about Erica Jane. Like, I hate when we see Erica Jane in that tiny little pool house. I'm like,
Oh, I know. It's and by the way, they've never found a way to shoot the angle of the pool house that makes it look good. And there's always like leaves in the pool, and you could put in the Nightmare on Elm Street soundtrack, and it would work whenever they show the pool house.
They always shoot that pool house like that. I imagine that cameraman has dug a hole in the ground to shoot up at it as much as he can, because it's like this tiny little bungalow, and it's just and obviously I know it's a nice house and it's over $1 million, but like,
it's better than the house I'll live in. I think
I want her in a palace again.
I get what you're saying. It's like the emperor has no clothes all of a sudden. You're like, it was. And if you can't have something more than just your wealth, it really is like, you're dependent on the wealth to make you actually kind of interesting on this show.
Yeah, that's true.
So we start off, we have that, Lisa Barlow goes, "You're lying. It's a joke, Andy. It's a joke. It's a prop flop." I love that term, prop flop.
But the thing with Lisa is, we know she sat down with someone beforehand and they were like, all right, here's some words, keep these in your mind. Prop flop. Yeah. They were like, these are going to kill it. She doesn't come up with anything herself.
I do wonder, in this day and age, I do feel like, and I'm not too far off from this, like offering services to coach housewives for reunions, because these people have to exist.
Here's the thing. I want to coach housewives before the season and during the season. So Real Housewives of Orange County premiered on my 16th birthday, and I stayed home at 16 years old and I watched this new show because it was being advertised on Desperate Housewives, and I was like, hell yeah, I want to see this. And I feel like I know this game inside and out, but I'm never going to be hot or rich or anything to be on the show. So it's like, let me help you. When we had Brittany Bateman on, we had Brittany Bateman on our show, and she didn't say this on the show, but she said it to us afterwards, and I think we can say it now that the season's over. But she was supposed to be, she filmed herself holding a snowflake this season, and she didn't know she wasn't a housewife until the trailer came out.
So not only does the cast like shit on her completely, the production loves to do it as well. They really keep her psychologically underpinned.
Exactly. And I told her, I was like, have you practiced any taglines or anything yet? And she's like, no, not yet. And I go, one of the things you can't be doing is you can't sing your tagline like Candace did on Potomac. Like, that's obnoxious. It's annoying. Like, you don't lean into that, please, dear God. But she never got to do it anyways.
Her tagline would just be like, "I'm so thrilled to be here.
I have an announcement to make."
Ting, ting, ting. I love being here.
When she walks off the stage, I'm like, Brittany, just come back. You want to be on the stage more than anybody.
Well, I know, because at the very end, you guys, she like storms off like, "This is bullshit." And she's like, and I just picture her like rounding the corner, and I hope there's a camera there when she rounds the corner, because I almost feel like her face lights up of like, did it read? Did it read? Did it read?
It's sometimes I feel like we need the cameraman from like Maury or Jerry Springer when they find out they're not the father or whatever. But then sometime like we just need a stationary camera would be fine. We don't need to go all the way back there. She's coming back. She's coming
back. The
back.
camera from that show Cheaters from back in the day.
Yes.
Angie says that she has watched this Candace Story account for 2 years, and the reason she found out because it was Electra's birthday, and Candace Story looked at her story, and then immediately a couple of minutes after, Lisa Barlow was like, "Oh my God, happy birthday to Electra," which to me is like, I feel like I can comfortably say this is 100% Lisa Barlow.
Do you think there's anyone in this world who hates Angie more than Electra?
I don't even think Electra likes riding horses at this point. I think it's just something to take her away.
I think that Electra is like, first of all, who names their child Electra?
Somebody that loves Daredevil comic books. That's what I'm thinking, because Daredevil had Electra.
Okay.
If you're like comic book geeks, which I'm sure the majority of my audience is, but Electra is a really great character in Daredevil. But I don't think her husband, I don't know.
I hear stripper. I hear, like Carmen Electra's pole dance workout. Yeah. And I think that Electra is doing everything. I mean, Electra she wears a low ponytail. She doesn't wear makeup. Like, I feel like she's like, my mom wants me to be super girly and fabulous, and I'm going to wear this low ponytail. I think she's going to do everything she can to make Angie upset with how she turned out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that with their parents. So it'll be interesting as Electra grows older, how this will affect. I mean, we see this with so many Housewives kids. So that will be interesting. I love in this moment, Angie's like, "You're fucking crazy" to Lisa. And Lisa's like, "You're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy." And then they're just calling each other crazy on top of each other, which is like really awesome crazy.
Don't you love that these two always have to have the last word? Like watching these two fight makes me happier than watching. The only other time I used to feel this way was like Bethany fighting with someone, because
Dude, I'm
that
watching
was a
season
good time.
2 of Roni again, and I just got to the scene when Bethany was fighting with Kelly Ben-Simone. And Kelly Ben-Simone's like, "You're down here, and I'm up here." And Bethany was just like, she loved that she was being confronted by what she considered a dimwit, and it was just electrifying television. This is not necessarily electrifying because I don't think any of these ladies are, and I'm saying this lovingly, mental giants. Right. At least Bethany, I think, had like an actual plan. But Lisa's like, "This is not another receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots." And Heather's like, "You will owe us an apology, Lisa, because we remained your friend and have moved on, even though we've known about it for years." So this Candace story bit is something that they've known for years and have kept it in their back pocket, which once again of like, what is going on off screen? How many more things are people holding in there? This is not a game of like poker, or maybe it is, but why are we holding these things for years at this point?
And when we read our worst text messages about our other castmates, why don't we also maybe go through and like, here's some screenshots I have about you. Like, let's just get it all out in the air.
Or everybody's like, throw your phones down and show me your Finsta and let's go from there. Like, because everyone in that cast has a Finsta.
If you said like, "Hey, let me look through your camera roll, but I can only go through one section." And it's like, there's one section that's called like only penis pics. I would still not want you to look at my screenshots because I talk shit about everybody. And it's always like screenshots from people that I'm friends with and stuff. It's like, don't look at my screenshots.
Yeah, I was just going over those Taylor Swift, Blake Lively text messages and emails today. And, it's not great, but like, I'm sorry. Everybody out there talks shit about people the same way. It's just those are billionaire millionaires that are talking shit. And so we take it like weirdly differently when stars, they're just like us. Like, yes, it is cringy, but if you read my shit talking messages, they're cringy as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, also, how did you know my labeling for my penis pics?
Mine's actually called Moby Dick.
Andy's like, moving on. I'm really getting tired of Andy being the guy decides moving on because I never want to move on. What do you think of Andy Cohen's performance during this? Because fairly early into this second part, he also just walks off stage. I mean, but also not really. He walks off stage kind of half-assed and then immediately comes back. I'm like, walk off, dude. Walk off.
Andy Cohen walking off stage is much like me, like running away from home when I was little, like getting hurt. You just want attention. And I feel like he's like, in this moment, no one's paying attention to me. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk out of here, but I'm going to look back the whole time to make sure that you guys see, like, do you see me leaving? Do you see that? Like,
and the only one that really seemed to care, Mary, is like, "Oh no, Andy, don't. Andy, no. Andy, no.
We're
Andy,
sorry,
no.
Andy. We're sorry." I feel like it was the first time that I was like, "Oh, you're stage 2." Also, did you notice what low budget their set had? At one point, we zoomed the camera out, and their background of the Grecian ocean was like, the paper was like rippled. Like, oh, come on.
Well, what I'm really, because they do focus on, and I will tell you on Peacock, they have an extended and uncut version that adds 6 or 7 more minutes, which there's a couple of like actually decent scenes, but they do one scene in regards to the food that is out on set. Like they got some Greek food out there, and there's a whole conversation where Meredith in between a break is just staring. She goes, "Do you think that's real?
Yeah.
Do you think it's real?" And
I can't quite figure out if that's real.
And then Lisa's like, "No, it's probably sprayed. It's sprayed food." And Meredith just keeps like looking at the food like so intensely, where this is where I think she sometimes gets the like, people think she's a pill popper because she's just staring at the food, where I'm like, what is going on in your head? But she's just like, "Is this food real?" And if that food was real, I would be eating the shit out of that cheese.
I think to myself, like, Meredith just needs to say like, the reason I tend to zone out is because I've got I don't know. She could blame it on her hearing loss. Like, if you gave us some sort of reason, but I feel like she's like, I don't zone out. I don't do this. I don't do any of this. I'm perfect.
Folks, I have a question for you. Imagine if edibles just made you feel good instead of too high. Wouldn't that be great? It's consistent, mellow, and super delicious. Lumi gummies are specifically designed to make you feel good, not stoned. So whether you're looking for an end-of-day de-stressor, a midday mood boost, or help getting the best sleep ever, Lumi gummies has a strain right for you. I have been taking these the last couple of weeks to help me. If you listen to this show, you know I have trouble sleeping, and they work so dang well. I actually look forward to going to sleep now. Lumi gummies are available nationwide, so go to lumigummies.com, that's L-U-M-I gummies.com, and use code SOBAD for 30% off your order. 30%. Again, that's L-U-M-I gummies.com. Use code SOBAD. lumigummies.com, code SOBAD. Yeah, well, it makes the audience feel crazy because we're gaslit into being like, what you're seeing is actually not true. It's like, I have two eyes, I have two ears. I mean, I'm seeing and hearing this, and this is how I actually take this in and feel about it. And then you're saying that is not valid at all, and what I'm seeing and hearing is not true. Also, what is your opinion on Heather Gay?
Oh, God. Okay. I would have laid my life down for Heather Gay in the early seasons. Would have died for this woman.
First season, I loved her.
Then, right around the time we got skinny, things started to shift. And I was like, do I not like you because you're skinny, or do I not like you because your personality changed? And I really do believe it's because her personality changed. And then this season, she started getting me back a little bit. Like, the thing that was so great about Heather Gay on Housewives is that she was an outsider who somehow fell inside. And that's like, she gave commentary. She was laughing at them fighting. Like, she was just such a different housewife than we had. She wasn't taking herself so seriously. And now I feel like she's like, I'm a serious woman. The fact, like, the screenshots, timeline, whatever, like, all of that was so bad for her because it blew her up into a new level. And she's just like,
she loves it. She loves the attention she gets from it. She loves the hobnobbing with pseudo celebrities.
Yes.
It's like, look at me. I'm hanging out with Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers. Look at me. Look at this. Look at this. And you get the feeling that she 100% thinks she's better than everybody on that stage.
Oh, for
except
sure.
Except for Andy. Daddy Andy, as she calls
Yes. But I just like, I liked humble Heather. I liked Heather as our comedic relief. I liked her laughing at all the stupid shit that they do.
And now self-deprecation she's with all the time.
Yes. And now it's just like, you're just like the rest of them.
Well, you're just like the rest of them, but also, thank you. That storyline about your 20-year-old mattress was enlightening, Heather. Are we doing a whole segment on what we found on your mat? Like, let's at least throw a blue light on that thing. Like, that was the storyline that Heather gave us this season that came directly.
Ryan, how dare you? Because she showed us her new furniture from Wayfair in her office. How fucking dare you not act like she's not a Wayfair queen?
I love your new office. Thanks. It turns out you can just get about anything from Wayfair. And she winks at the camera.
Wayfair is totally awesome, and I love their furniture. It's always built well. I'm like, listen, bitch, I'm buying Wayfair, and that shit's falling apart. Like, that's what's in the budget, okay?
I think Heather is it's going to be interesting because I think the audience is finally starting to pick up on what I've felt for the last two seasons. So it'll be interesting because she wants to think of herself as the reliable narrator. And this cast is so kooky that Mary Cosby has turned into the reliable narrator on this cast. And I don't think Heather ever kind of like tabulated like that could potentially happen. They also bring up this thing about Rolling Thunder. Heather's like, Rolling Thunder? You want to go there? And everybody knows what Rolling Thunder is. And Meredith goes, it's alluding to a photograph of me with someone I dated when Seth and I were separated, and they're trying to make it in this big gotcha moment. First off, like Meredith, I hope she did fuck half in New York when she was separated from Seth. Why can't we see the photo? I'd love to see a photo of Meredith with another guy.
I hope that she's still fucking half of New York. Like, I'm sorry, but like Seth, to me, he seems great for a 25-year-old girl, but like he's such a dimwit. that I don't see them actually together. Like I feel
How
like
dare you? How dare you, Ace? How dare proof?
And I just feel like Meredith, please go out there and find something else, you know? And if you guys just want to keep the image that you have a marriage, that's fine. But like, you deserve to fuck half of New York. You're gorgeous. You know, you got a little bit of a pill problem, but I don't know. I feel like you should just go out there and also like, you know what else sucks too? When's the last time we had a good celebrity sex tape? You know? When?
Oh God. I mean, maybe I'm real. I mean, I'm just going by when I was super young. I mean, was it Kim Kardashian? That can't be right.
I mean, we had Kim Kardashian, we had Paris Hilton. You know, we had a few here and there and stuff, but it's like,
we did have a Danielle Staub sex tape, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, it was like her tits, I think.
Okay, but have we ever had another Housewives sex tape?
No, it's very disappointing.
And we had some Housewives. Remember when Bethany Frankel was in like a Skinamax and
yes,
brought up in Roni?
Right, but then it's like then we had Erica Jane, and it's like okay, like that's not a big deal. But I'm just like, if Meredith could come out with a sex tape, fucking half of New York, it's like boom, you're back to center snowflake. Like, you're in it for me.
I have a working theory that Erica Jane's never had sex. Because when somebody leads with it that hardly, like, I love to fuck, I'm having sex. Like, she's always like so dirty, and then we never see a damn thing. We see her like maybe holding hands in a paparazzi photo with this guy named Shrek, but we never see like a dark, tall, and handsome stranger and like backlight sneaking up through her pool house. We never see anything like that.
She's a virgin.
She always talks. Yeah.
She's a nun.
So, anyways, they cut for lunch, and then they're backstage, and Heather's talking to Whitney and talking like, you know, Meredith, and they're like, Meredith says nothing in Lisa's defense. And then Angie's telling Bronwyn and Mary that Lisa's being really strange today. She's being mean. And Bronwyn says, well, she's saying that we keep speaking over her, and that's what she does. And then Lisa's talking to Meredith in another room, and Lisa's like, what do you think so far, Mare? And Mare's like, I think you're doing great. You are holding your own. And Lisa's like, which part? Like, Lisa's like, which part was I great at? And Meredith goes, well, nothing specific, you know. And Lisa goes, we're going to have to talk about the airplane ride. I think we need to be prepared to back each other because we know the truth there. Their math doesn't math, ours does. And I thought this was weirdly threatening to Lisa to Meredith. How did you feel about this?
I do feel like she's like, if you don't have my back enough, then I'm going to make sure this comes back up. I feel like with Lisa, you know, turning to Meredith in part one when she was like, did I miss anything? It's like, what? Like, how hard did you guys practice for this reunion? You know, like, what are you checking in with Meredith about? Does she have a checklist going for you?
Well, it is. And then it is funny because the other ladies are thinking Meredith is not going hard enough for Lisa, but Lisa's going hard for Meredith. And even Lisa's like, okay, give me compliments about my performance. And you got to remember the airplane's coming up soon. I hope my memory's a little foggy. I hope everything works out. And Meredith goes, why do you think they're so obsessed with us? It's weird and creepy. And she goes, it's the most fraudulent shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Do you really think it's the most fraudulent shit Meredith has ever seen in her entire life?
Well, she saw Jen Shaw, so
it's like she's actually seen real crimes be committed, but this is the most fraudulent. That's wild.
But also, okay, it wasn't enough that like we did have air marshals involved. So why won't she own up to it? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's housewife behavior. If I found out that if I lost my shit on a plane and I didn't get arrested, I'm bringing it up myself because I'm like, please, guys, that's a storyline. Like, you know,
exactly. But also, imagine if there were air marshals on the plane, but like the air marshals, like hugest fan of Housewives, like a huge fan.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you don't like, this is like a VR, this is like a once in a lifetime experience. I know none of them probably have a gun. Like, why don't I just let this play out? Like, I'm watching an episode as an air, and I'm sure there's air marshals are probably upset at me right now. If you're listening, I'm sorry. But what are the chances that like they let it go a little farther than they do with regular passengers because they're a fan of the franchise?
Can you imagine footage from TMZ of like Meredith being walked off the bus in like, or the airplane in like handcuffs, and she's just like, this is absolutely fraudulent. This is fraud. Like She would. I would pay.
My one phone call is to Brooks. My one phone call is to Brooks, please.
He didn't get to tell me Happy Mother's Day. Like, how old is Brooks now? Like, come on. Like,
he said, but we go to the next segment where Mary is talking about her son who is incarcerated, and Mary's being really honest, saying he's at the place where he needs to be. I'd rather him in there than dead. I talk to him every day. And then in pure Mary Cosby fashion, Andy goes, do you visit him, in person? And she goes, oh, no, I can't go to jail. That's weird.
she tried to back herself up, and she was like, no mother wants to see their son in that position. I was like, you just don't want to go to jail,
If somebody smells like hospital, what do you think prison smells like to Mary? Like,
oh, God. You know what? Actually, I'll have her back on this. I used to mentor at like the juvie that's kind of by us, and it does smell in there. Whatever they had for lunch always stank in this room, and it was just like, oh God, like I don't want to be here for that.
Yeah.
But I loved when she was like, he's asking for a lot of books, so Robert Sr. sending him books, and then Heather, maybe I'll send him your book. And she's like, oh, I can send that. Don't worry, that's easy. I got him. I'll get him. And then Andy's like, there's a chapter about you in there, Mary. And she's like, And did you hear that? There's a chapter. Oh, there is. Like, how do you not know somebody wrote a chapter about you?
Because Mary doesn't give a rip, and that's another reason why I love her. And Mary, in that moment, Mary's like, did you hear that? There's a chapter about you in that book. And she goes, oh, really? And she just like freezes. She's like, and she's not apologetic. She's not like, I got to read that. She goes, oh, really? Oh, good.
Yeah.
And then she like lets that moment breathe where Andy has to pick it back up and move on because she's not going to give him anything. And it is so, but also,
do you think that she thinks like, oh, it's a positive chapter?
I don't, you know what? I don't even think she's like, oh, I hope it's nothing to do with inbreeding. Like, I hope it's nothing to do, like, I don't think she truly, and also I made me wonder, like, what are the other books that they're sending Robert Jr.?
Right.
Like, is it like Hunger Games? Is it like Michael Crichton? Like, what are we sending Robert Jr.? I mean, is it just Housewives books? Like, is Carl Radke's book, like Cake Eater, going to Robert Jr.?
Here's the thing. With where he has gotten his brain to, I honestly just wonder, like, is it some of those, like, picture books? Like, I don't know how much he's able to read anymore. Like, his brain is fried.
You think so? You think it's like, I've never done repeated... I mean,
watching him try and talk to her and formulate a sentence, like,
yeah. Well, I always can't read. I've never had any of my family, knock on wood, or me, like, been addicted to pills. Shout out Meredith. And but like I do wonder, like, is there an internal shyness too? And especially when a camera's in your face where it's like, because he's just like, Mom, I'm just feel like unseasoned chicken. And it does read like fryness, but I didn't know how much of that was the drugs and how much of that is shyness.
Maybe. I just felt like when he did say stuff, I was just like, do you know what you're saying? Like, it's like words are coming out, but it felt very Cody Brown in the fact that, like, it's word salad, very Mary Brown worthy up. I hate to really everything.
Oh my God, Cody Brown doing a Scared Straight show with like prisoners.
I would love
folks, you guys want to be verboten in your real life? I got to talk to you for a second.
I think Cody Brown should go on like 60 Days In.
Oh God, wouldn't that be amazing?
Also, I've had this idea of doing like rebooting The Simple Life because that was one of my favorite shows of all time. But bringing Housewives in, but not. I'm not talking Crappy Lake, I'm talking like we go, like, imagine Lisa Barlow having to work for real at Wendy's, like, or on a farm or whatever it is. Like, we have to pick housewives who are not like, Sonia and Luann are always down for a good time.
What, like Lisa Barlow working the Frosty machine at a Wendy's?
Yes. And getting screamed at.
Yeah. Like, that would be, I'm writing it in my head. That would be just truly magical. Mary reveals that when she was kicked out by her mom, she's like, I got kicked out. I was like, Mom, where am I going to go? And my mom was like, I don't know, but you're not living here. And she's like, I wasn't obeying the world. I had my own mind. And Andy was like, how old were you? And she was like, 18. I'm like, you're supposed to get out of the fucking house at 18, allegedly. What do you mean? Like, your mom? I mean, like, no, I'm pro Mary Cosby, but I was like, you were 18. Yeah, go.
She wasn't ready. Listen, I will always make up an excuse for Mary Cosby. Here's the thing. She's likable, so people send her money. Okay. And if she told people they're poor and they're cheap, well, maybe they are.
The audience knows. I am shocked about how much I love Mary Cosby, but I have a sick mind. So, they're talking about the book, and then Andy brings up the cult and the church, and they're like, somebody said your kink is money. And Mary's like, really? Wow. And your congregation thinks you're God. And Mary leans to Whitney and goes, remember, you said that. And they flash back to 2021 when Whitney said that. And Mary says, it hurt me. But I thought this was interesting. She said, it hurt me. I've been through a lot, but I'm tough. And I'll just put it on the pile of all the other things that hurt me. And I thought that was like a weirdly prophetic line of like, I'm tougher than anybody gives me credit. And people have been saying shit about me my whole life. I'll just put it in the pile with the other things.
I do feel like, especially watching the TLC documentary, it sounds like Mary was just kind of she's always been a weirdo. And now we celebrate her weirdness, but growing up, that's not easy, and I'm going to try and make people feel sorry for Mary.
Whitney's like, I stand on the side of people standing up for Mary. I feel bad they're doing this. And Lisa's like, it's old news. I wish it weren't coming out. And I would love to see Candace Story 7's comments of like, fuck Mary and fuck that church. It's a complete cult. That's not me. It's Candace Story 7.
Let's get back to talking about Lisa.
Yeah. Oh, and then this was the clip that they cut out of the show, but they put on Peacock, was that Andy's like, moving on. The Church of Satan, Lisa, posted on Twitter that they never asked you for Vita Tequila donations. And Lisa's like, well, I guess I'm going to have to pull out the tax donation slip. And Andy goes, you really donated tequila to the Church of Satan? And she's like, yes, 2 cases. It's been a while. Why? And Andy's like, not to be a moron, but I didn't realize there really is a Church of Satan. And Lisa says, can I give it context, please? And then Bronwyn's like, there's 2 Church of Satans. One actually is really good. It's a political action group that does stuff for women's rights. And one actually is the Church of Satan. And Lisa goes, what she's saying is true. I didn't ask many questions. I just said, send the address and we'll make the delivery. And Brittany goes, what's the belief system there? And Heather goes, that there's no afterlife. And when he goes, Lisa, I have a question for you. What would Jesus do? And Lisa goes, Jesus would give them the tequila. And Angie goes, no, he wouldn't. And Whitney goes, Jesus would not like this. And Lisa goes, no, I think Jesus would give them the tequila and say, good luck. They had a whole conversation about the Church of Satan.
Turn water into wine, babe. I stand with Lisa. She's a philanthropist. She's doing the good work that everybody needs. Have you ever seen Vita Tequila out and about?
No, it's like Bigfoot. I've been at BravoCon, so I've seen the bottles. I've seen,
different.
And I will say, like, a lot of like creator friends through the years, like they would like message Lisa and Lisa would send them Vita Tequila bottles. And I just thought, I can't do that. Like, and also I think Lisa caught on at some point that I was being super silly about her. And I think there was some weird sort of awareness, and I'm not trying to gas myself up, but I feel like she knew. And John Barlow DM'd
you?
Yeah, John Barlow DM'd me last week.
And said,
because I posted a thing of her and Ben Affleck, and I said Lisa Barlow with a fan on Instagram, and he wrote LOL. And I was like, uh-oh. And I was like, it was just saying LOL. And I said, I can't, it was after the first part of the reunion. I said, hey, I can't help but just like laugh at everything your wife says. And, and he was like, oh, it was a pretty crazy reunion. And then he goes, by the way, how's your baby? When's your baby due? And which was like, I couldn't believe John Barlow even knew I was having a baby. But then I told Sophie on Monday, I said, or what if that was a threat? Like, how's your baby?
Oh. Well,
how's your baby, Ryan?
I'd probably be a little bit more scared if Mary said it, Come for me and I'll send Jesus after you.
Wait, have you ever had a conversation with Lisa Barlow?
No, God, no.
Well, I didn't know if at BravoCon maybe you palled around or something.
No, God, absolutely not. I'm terrified of everyone who's on Bravo. Like, Anna kept trying to bring me into spaces, and I was like, we're going to be arrested. We're going to be arrested back here. With Sister Wives, I've always watched them from a distance when I've seen them. Never interacted with them and don't want to interact with them. I like to be in the shadows. It's easier that way.
Yeah. It's easier that way. But I will say, when you're in there is this weird, I don't know, but it's like there is this weird Bravo star quality about them where it is very funny to be in their presence. It does feel like you're an interloper, though. It's never felt comfortable.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually a pretty good thing if you've never felt comfortable around a Bravo celebrity.
I feel like it's also, do you want to meet your heroes?
No.
Do you?
In fact, I did that with Tom Sandoval, and it was a great. Then Scandoval happened, and I did look up to Tom Sandoval at one point. I did.
You know who I did meet at BravoCon? Who was the nicest person in the entire world? Yes, Tom Schwartz was so nice and was just like chatty and whatever, and it didn't feel like we were bothering him or anything like that. So, shout out to Tom Schwartz. Good guy, but I just feel like. I don't like. What if you meet one of them and they smell? What if one of them is farting?
But what if you meet one of them and you smell? Like, that's the other thing too.
True.
Like, I always like, am I smelling? Like, I'm not put together. They're like, and like, they're fully put together, and my zipper's down. Like, it's always something. In fact, I was at that one party you were at, like the night before Bravo, and Margaret Josephs had to tell me my zipper was down. Like, that's humiliating.
Well, that means she was looking at your penis, though. Look at the positive side.
And I noticed there's a window in there.
Yeah. Oh my God. One of my all-time hall passes, and my wife doesn't even give a shit, is Monique Samuels. And I met her in person, and I told my wife from like the beginning, like when she first came on Potomac, I was like, if ever I had an opportunity to have sex with this woman, would you care? She's like, no, she wouldn't care who I had sex with ever anyways, but she's like, sure. Because she also knows that's never going to happen. Yeah. But when I met Monique Samuels in person, she was prettier, she was nicer, and she smelled even better than I thought. So I told her, I said, just so you know, you're my hall pass. And
I guess follow up, when is the restraining order done?
I think she only did it like if I enter Potomac area, but I don't think it's like everywhere.
Hey, my fiance like always gives me shit because I had Heather Gay on this show one time that after that first season.
Yeah.
And I asked her to marry me, and she's like, what the fuck? And I go, I loved her in that first season. I go, I was joking. And then she'll like still bring it up. She goes, you asked Heather Gay to marry you. And I was like, yeah, man, like it was the pandemic, like things were weird. And I was just, I really supported her at that time, but it's like, we all make mistakes.
See, here's the thing. My wife and I have been together for 20 years now. Like, we've been together forever. And so it's like, like I'll be like, oh my God, if I could just have sex with that person. She's like, okay. But I also say, if I could have sex with a burrito, like if I have a really good burrito, I'm like, God, please let me stick my dick in this. That's just how it goes.
That could turn Chipotle's business completely around at this point. We have our new carne asada burritos where you can stick your dick in for a limited time only.
Yeah.
Wow, you're full of good ideas. So then we have this like really like quick thing where Mary and Brittany get into it because, Brittany told Mary during the season that, her behavior is not Christ-like. And Mary just easily clears Brittany like again and again. Mary's like, you pretend you're nice and you're not nice. She just wants attention, Andy. I meant it. I meant everything I said, and I'll say it again to you, Brittany. I don't think I'll ever like her. I'm not mean to you. I respond to you. I don't just say it out of the blue. So like, that's Mary. She'll just tell you how she feels point blank, and I love it.
Mary had her absolute foot on Brittany the entire, like Brittany one thing, and you see they cut to Mary and she's like, oh, here she goes again, or oh, let me guess, she's gonna start crying. Like, and I love a dog with a bone because I'm a dog with a bone, and so keep on harassing her.
Well, then it was like, Andy, I love Andy lets Twitter users do his dirty work. Andy's like, Coffee is Love on Twitter says, Mary was right about Meredith not sticking up for Lisa on the yacht trip. Meredith, what's your version of sticking up for your friends? And Meredith goes, well, I am her friend, and I never read the lawsuit that she brought up. I heard from her about it. And Lisa goes, Meredith and I are good friends. And Meredith goes, oh, now Mary says now you're good friends. And Lisa goes, we were always good friends. And then Mary, coming off the Brittany clearing, Mary goes, oh, even when you called her a whore and said that she slept with half of New York. And everybody's like, oh my God, zoinks, it came from Mary. And Lisa goes, do you want to go through the list of everything everybody has called Meredith or just fixate on mine? Because and then she goes, I'm motherfucking sick of hearing the same goddamn things on repeat. And then Mary says, please don't say God's name in vain. And then this is it. She goes, I don't normally do it, but I'm frustrated. And then she goes, I mean frustrated, or however the fuck you say that word. And so Mary immediately cleared Brittany and went right into Lisa, and Mary didn't even break a sweat. She didn't even raise her voice.
No, that's what makes a great Housewives, if you can keep your cool, you know?
Yeah.
And also, Lisa, it's different that anyone has said shit about Meredith because they're castmates. You guys are lifelong best friends, so a little different.
Yeah, I mean, Meredith says no one can understand why I moved on from the fight with Lisa, and that's why it's hypocritical. And Mary goes, it is hard to understand. And Lisa goes, were you surprised Mary took... No, Andy goes, Lisa, were you surprised Mary took your side? Andy says. And Mary says, Lisa doesn't care. Lisa's all about Lisa. She probably doesn't even know what you're talking about. And Lisa, this is when she was like, still like a robot. She goes, no, I do. And I'm marveling. And Mary goes, Andy asked you a question, Lisa. Can you answer it? And then this is when she's like completely frozen. She goes, I don't need you to tell me what to do and how to do it. I'm being thoughtful and pragmatic. And now all the other ladies are noticing how frozen Lisa is and that she is not moving and just staying completely still. Did you think she was short-circuiting?
I think so. And I'm also, it's just like, why did he not press her? Like, what example am I talking about, Lisa? Like, what is it that I'm talking about? Because we know she had no idea.
I feel like this is where like, and I truly do love Andy Cohen. He is one of my heroes for what I do, but I felt like there was a little bit of, I don't know, phoning it in. I can't tell if it's like the edit or if just like, I want to get home to my kids. I want to see John Mayer. Like what is happening here where I feel like he didn't push for any real answers. Maybe he was just so entertained by them that he was just letting things go without really calling them out or like clarifying anything.
I almost wonder if he gets comfortable because he's like, I mean, Salt Lake does great. We don't really have to bring a lot to the reunion because people are going to love it no matter what.
I just feel like we expect more out of Salt Lake. So
yeah,
it's interesting. I'm curious to see about the third part. Anyways, Lisa says, I'm resolved. I'm good with Mary, but Mary's like, whatever. And then we get to airplane time. And, I do love that they showed a full clip package. My favorite one of Meredith from this season. You're a liar and a manipulative, despicable bird. You're a liar. Like, that was amazing when she said that on the boat. You're a liar. She makes so many cool sounds with her voice.
She really does. And I love all of Meredith's little moments like that. Like those are the most quotable things from Salt Lake.
Yeah. Her freakouts, like, you know, the Venus and the, you know, like all of that stuff she does with her vocal tics are some of my favorite moments in the entire series.
Same.
So then Brittany talks about the airplane and saying that it was shady of her to bring up the Seth TikTok, which I do believe Meredith has a right to be annoyed with somebody that is constantly saying your husband is cheating, right?
Right. And again, she's like, I mean, I was upset, but I was just talking to a friend simply about what was going on.
Bronwyn says, a lot of times marriages get brought up in this group and the intention is never nice, but no one flips out. And Meredith goes, really? Because Angie flipped out for 2 years. But they also said Angie's husband was doing circle jerks with gay men.
You know what? What's wrong with the circle jerk? You know?
Nothing's wrong with a circle jerk, Ace, but the thing is, like, I want a TLC docuseries about that. Are circle jerks happening with older, like what? How do you start one? Like, is it like invite only? Like, do you like come at 8? We're circle jerking. Like, I want to know how it works.
I've never really had guy friends, and so I've never been invited. So I don't know, like, if you, me, you know, we kind of round up a couple other guys. We do a circle jerk just to kind of be like, hey, we participated in one at one point.
I would pray if that happened, I would rather it be all first timers.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, like I wouldn't want like a pro, like you guys aren't circle jerking great. Like, you know.
Do you think that we need one pro there to kind of like lead the charge?
Cody Brown, if you're listening. Okay, you guys, here's the deal. I was in special forces, so I get this. One's going to start, okay?
I serve this country. And in a circle jerk, I mean, I don't know much about. Do you take your hand and then does it go to the person next to you, or do you just focus on yourself?
I would think you're not touching other people at all.
Oh, so it's just you. Okay.
Well, I don't think it's like a relay race or anything like that,
See, in my head, it was kind of like those massage trains where it was like everyone takes their right hand, and it goes on the penis next to them. And it's like a... like a dance.
It's a seductive dance. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, they're like, do we think Seth was unfaithful? And then this was another scene that didn't air on the actual version, but the Peacock version, Meredith goes, let's call my husband. Let's call him then. And her phone is ringing, and Seth's like, hey, how you doing there, guy? And Lisa grabs the phone and goes, Seth, listen to this. Brittany's trying to say shit, trying to say you confided in Jared, saying that you have like 2 girls on the side. And Heather's like, why isn't Meredith talking to her own husband? And Lisa goes, because we're close friends. And Meredith goes, here we go again, honey. Here we go. It gets crazy. And then Mary goes, Meredith, let him go. Hang up. It'll hurt his feelings. We can handle it, but they have a harder time. It's a harder time processing for them, which I thought was such a cute statement from Mary. Of like,
well, because Robert Sr. wants nothing to do with the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think my grandpa would want to be on the show. Like, I don't think,
Bronwyn's got her grandpa on the show.
I like that Robert Sr. for the first season was like, yeah, man, this sounds like a pretty cool deal. I'll definitely participate. And then immediately was like, shit. Dude, do you have to go? I know we're way past the time.
No, we're fine.
Okay. So Seth goes, they let Seth speak and goes, if people can't tell that I'm infatuated with you, then then that's their fault. People think I'm cheating on you. Those kind of people believe in Santa Claus and Bigfoot and the Tooth Fairy, which, by the way, Meredith has fucked all of those characters. Like, she's hooked up with all of them. But then Meredith goes, I love you, honey. And they let Seth go. So Seth did have a moment at the reunion that nobody knows that just watched Bravo.
So here's the thing. We met Seth when we were at BravoCon, and Anna was talking to him. He had no idea who she was. But he stared at her tits almost the entire time. So, I mean,
who are your friends that you brought with you down there?
Yeah, because I'm like, no one's talking to me, so I'm just now spectating on this conversation, and he's just like looking straight at her tits, like, yeah, I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
He's very faithful.
He's very faithful. Well, and then this is where we get into the conversation where Lisa pressuring Jared Osman to tell about Bronwyn's husband, the Todd father, going to Dubai for ED. And we see unseen footage, which, by the way, what happened to Amy the socialite, who we saw through the first 4 episodes of the season? Did she die?
Thank God they cut her out. She was supposed to be full-time, and I'm so glad that they
she was supposed to be full-time?
I think that's what I had heard. She was supposed to be full-time, and then they were like, this woman sucks. She brings nothing. They were like testing her, and it was like, never mind. Let's. I think they wanted her because she had money.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it ended, though, with her, is she had money and she throws parties.
I mean, well, we speak your name, Amy the socialite. They say, they talk about Brittany making fun of Meredith's seizures, and Brittany goes, I didn't say she had seizures. And she goes, my daughter Olivia had seizures when she was little. And then she does a perfect Meredith impression. She's like, when Meredith goes, you're vile and disgusting human being. She goes, it was a terrible joke, but it was very triggering for me.
Why can these women never just stand by what they say? Be like, yeah, like, you don't need to say that you're triggered because of your daughter having seizures. Like, you said it because Meredith does look like she's having a seizure when you're doing it, but it's also, you were saying it as like a figment of speech. You weren't saying she's actually like having a seizure.
A snarky, funny thing, because that's what she looked like she was doing. And yeah,
my daughter had seizures, and it's very triggering for me. And then Mary goes, everything Brittany does is triggering for me.
Heather talks about the airplane video and goes, Whitney said this to me in the dressing room. My biggest regret is not picking up my phone and recording it. But Heather goes, being honest, it's like, what kind of piece of shit person would like record it? And Lisa turns to Meredith and goes, she's calling her cousin a piece of shit. And Whitney hears it and realizes, Whitney's like, what? And Heather says, we were tolerating it because we knew why she was mad. And then Andy pointed out that Heather recorded herself in the bathroom when Lisa Barlow lost her 60 grand ring in Palm Springs, and we see that. So, like, this is like a flip-flopping Heather, like, a weird thing. Like, this is like how Heather has changed. Heather, but you would film this shit.
The old Heather was, again, she was the outsider who had snuck in somehow, and she's like, this is hilarious. Like, this is a funny moment that this woman's, like, on her hands and knees in a public restroom trying to find this ring. And now she's like, we're serious Bravo celebrities.
Heather says, we don't really record each other. And I understood why you were mad, but it escalated. We were on your side, but I don't know what point it tipped to Brittany. And Meredith goes, you weren't on my side at breakfast that morning. And we have more unseen footage on the boat of Meredith to Heather saying, the fact you supported Brittany is disappointing. And Heather in that scene goes, I'm just trying to survive here. It's just a fucking hot mess. And Meredith goes, ha 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 ha.
That laugh that Meredith does is like, it's gonna be the last thing that you hear before you enter hell.
Wow, you're really making assumptions about me, Ace. I mean, I know I'm going, but like, you really think
I'll be there with you?
Thing? Yeah, it's the way. But hey, it would be great if I'm in hell and Ace welcomes me. It's like, well, the circle jerk's starting now.
I guess, yeah. I mean, where better to do a circle jerk than in hell?
Heather says you can recall specific things, Meredith, when it serves you, but not you can't recall the plane. And Heather says Lisa had to tell you. Lisa had to tell you, I had to tell you, and you still denied the plane behavior. And Meredith goes, I'm not talking over her. She screeched over me for 2 months. And Heather goes, I screeched over you for 2 months? Fuck you. Fuck you for saying that. I've never screeched at you, and I will start. Our friendship is over from this morning on. Buckle up, Meredith. It's not going to be a fun ride.
How is that the line in the sand? You screeched at me for 2 months? Like,
Was Heather like made fun of her voice as a young kid a lot or something? Was that like a soft spot?
I've been made fun of my voice for my entire life. Everyone says you're clearly gay and stuff like that. And if someone said that to me, that's still not the moment of like, oh, this is the line in the sand. I'm done with you forever. And I'm like, housewives need to learn that you don't say this. Stop saying that forever you will never be their friend, because then it's like, well, if Heather's not going to be her friend, she's not going to film with her. Do we bring her back? Job security is not saying that.
It is weird that Meredith said that. And then buckle up, Meredith. It's not going to be a fun ride was such a weirdly evil line that didn't land in an evil, fun Lisa Rinna on Trader's way. And I was like, buckle up, Meredith. It's not going to be a fun ride. I was like, it's going to be a fun ride if you get that 20-year-old mattress and take a ride on that thing. And Lisa goes, that sounds like a threat, Heather. And Heather goes, yeah, it was. And then Heather goes, I've been your friend for 6 years, Meredith. I've backed you on shit. I backed you on Vaginagate, which, Ace, remind me, what was Vaginagate?
Vaginagate was Jen Shaw flashing her vagina at Brooks. And,
I forget all about that.
The storylines that we have gone through in Salt Lake are next level. Yeah.
Oh my God, Vaginagate. What a time. And Meredith goes, you didn't back me. And you know what? I backed you on everything. And Heather goes, you maybe used 10 words tonight. And Meredith goes, well, I've had plenty to say, and it's daytime, but that's okay. Because Heather said, you maybe used 10 words tonight, but they're filming during the day. And Meredith thought she got one over on Heather.
I'm so glad you explained that, because when she said that, I was like, what is the reference I'm not getting here? Like, it did not clock with me at all why she said daytime.
It's so great that Meredith thinks she's serving because it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And she's like, I got you there, Heather. It's daytime, you idiot.
It's actually 12 p.m. now. It's no longer morning.
And then they're all talking over each other, and Meredith says she can't get a word in, and Andy goes, stop, I will let all of you talk. And then Whitney goes, promise? She goes, promise?
Okay, wait, did you watch it on Bravo too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did you also see the Winter Olympics that kept going over Whitney's face?
What this was, because I think a lot of people missed this.
Okay, so there's an advertisement for the Winter Olympics, because apparently that's coming up. Like, nobody even tracks that. And Whitney's sitting at the end of the couch, as always, and this Winter Olympics sign perfectly sitting on her shoulders, blocking her face. And I was just like, I told my wife, I'm like, I'd be so pissed pissed if that was me, because and every time they zoom back, it was like, there's the Winter Olympics in a pink dress, and it always covered her face.
But what if they pitched it to Whitney of like, hey, do you want a little extra money this reunion? If we put a Winter Olympics logo over your face for a good 20 minutes of the reunion, we'll give you a couple extra grand. That's cool because Justin ruined my business, so that would be great. Like I would like the whole next season, she has different logos over her face the entire season.
I thought like, it's so fitting that it's Whitney that it's happening to. Like,
no, it does kind of make me feel bad. You're like, oh God, because if that happened to Lisa Barlow, she'd sue Bravo.
Oh yeah, big time. No, and it would be like anybody else. It's just like the only other person it might be funny for is Brittany. Like she's like, I finally got on stage and you don't see me.
But Brittany's one of those people that she would take it too. She'd be like, thank you. May I have another? Like she would just be like, you can still see my legs. You can see my beautiful body. I'm perfect.
That is true.
I'm great.
You're right.
We've now finally come to like the last scenes where Meredith goes, before we move on with the plane thing, I have a little bit of a question first. My question to the group, I didn't deny anything happened or that something did happen. What we don't agree on exactly what happened, and what everybody is saying happened, I can't for the life of me understand why anyone who is saying that Brittany is a friend of Brittany didn't get up to help her, or anyone who's my friend, if you're so terribly concerned about me as you guys expressed, didn't come to me and say, Meredith, are you okay? And so this is leading into the anti-Semitism, and Angie goes, well, I did, and Heather goes, I did too. When we got off the plane, I texted you. The horrible things you said about Brittany, which we still haven't talked about, the horrible, slanderous, oh no, Heather Gay said this, the horrible, slanderous, defamous things that you said about Brittany. We are protecting you, Meredith, not Brittany. We're protecting you on what you said to Brittany on that plane. And they keep talking, we keep talking.
But once again, we're not like, where's Andy? Like, what did she say?
Exactly. There's no clarification.
Yeah. That's what pisses me off.
So they're going into the whole Britney thing like we talked earlier about the, like, oh my God,
nosedive,
full descent, and it was rockuous, like zip tie in your seat. And I was like, why did she say zip tie in your seat? And the flight attendants were checking on us, but they were buckled in. And Meredith says, well, the producers behind us asked the producers, and Andy says they were in a different class than you guys. And Meredith says, I didn't dump wine. I didn't kick a seat. And then they argue or not if they grabbed Brittany's hair. They're trying to make excuses for Meredith saying she pulled herself up and like, excuse me. Oh no, I got your hair. Like cause she was like, she had a broken toe, she says. And then it goes into, let's backtrack. I will revisit this with you in a moment, Andy, but first let's talk about why I have such a fractured relationship with Brittany. It's rooted in bigotry! And then it's like, dun, dun, dun. And she says she addressed this with Brittany off camera, and it was very mean, and, she barely eked out an apology. And Brittany goes, eked out? I cuddled you, which was amazing. Like, what were you thinking when you saw this part?
I thought to myself, where were cameras at Brittany trying to cuddle Meredith? Meredith doesn't cuddle Seth. Meredith sleeps on her back, arms by her side, face frozen, doesn't move. She doesn't cuddle. She's doesn't.
Like Nosferatu.
Yeah, like she just like there's nothing happening with Meredith. So I'm like, I can only imagine what it looked like. Brittany trying to like grab on top of her like she did to Angie K, and and Meredith just being like, oh God, please get off of me. Yeah.
So she tells this story, which I won't do in the annoying Meredith voice because it's like, it's pretty insane. She goes, she supported a bigot, this nail technician. And he had this nail technician had an interaction with a Jewish man and, made a nasty emoji. And the nail tech wrote that Jews are pedophiles that escape by prosecution by going to Israel. He was attacked on all of his reviews for the business. And, he reached out to Brittany and Jared and asked them to write a review to combat it. They wrote a glowing review. They were DM'd and called out. And Brittany said, I only saw the one thing. Was there more? She never picked up a phone and called me to explain or to say sorry. Now, this is like, obviously the nail tech, completely disgusting, horrendous, horrible. Close that business down. That's fine. But why would Brittany have to call Meredith and apologize?
It makes zero fucking sense. And also, who is this nail tech? Like, I'm like, Who is this person?
Well, the nail tech, thank you for asking, is this
Is it Candace Story?
No, it's Candace Story 7. No, it's this guy, Hunter Allen. His Instagram account is I'm Hunter Allen, Allan. And I have a screenshot of the text he sent with to this Jewish man. And yeah, it's really horrendous and gross. But Brittany is explaining her side of it and says, like, I love Brittany goes, he did great nails. And, but yeah, I said I would write a review. It's the least I can do is write a review. Someone sent me the post. I said, I called him and said, I'm going to take down my review and I'm she said, I never contact me again, but I'm not going to reach out to you, Meredith, because you use the same technician as me. You are just as guilty of not knowing as me. And Meredith seems enraged that Brittany said this.
I feel like Meredith is trying so hard right now to get Brittany canceled. And it's like, guys, Brittany came out and said that she chose her boyfriend over her daughters. And I think if Brittany did something bad, she'd probably be like, I did, but like, she's not going to see it as bad. I genuinely don't think Brittany had any malicious intent with this.
Yeah, I mean, I do think she wanted free nail work.
Yes, that's where it ends with Brittany. Yeah. It's very surface level.
I mean, and by the way, if I'm proved to be mistaken, I will completely apologize, but I believe that is the onus, is to get free nail work. And then Britt says, was like, she's really starting to get enraged. And she's like, when I found out what it meant to you, Meredith, and you really felt that way, I cried and I held you. She goes, I held you in my arms like a child. And Meredith leans to Lisa, this is a really good performance. And Brittany hugs Angie, like you said. And she goes, I did like this, Meredith. And Meredith goes, sounds like your theater voice. And Meredith goes, not like that, no. And Brittany goes, I cried. And Angie goes, can you not believe she didn't really know? And Lisa goes, she's innocent, but we're always guilty. And Meredith goes, this is what she did. She makes herself the victim. And Andy says, has she ever said anything else to you, Meredith, anti-Semitic? And this is another thing where I was like, so Meredith goes, she's been on the attack since day one. It felt very targeted. What does that mean?
Well, I think she's saying like she knows that I'm Jewish and that's why she's always been after me. Like I think that's what she's.
But like that's
a huge statement to make.
That's a huge statement.
I genuinely think that Brittany is so self-involved that she went probably to Meredith's bat mitzvah and she doesn't know she's Jewish.
Yeah, she's like, bat mitzvah. Oh, I didn't realize that was a Jewish thing.
Yeah, like she was like, oh, I wore a cute outfit for that party you had. You know?
She was like,
and I liked all the guys' little
body
hats.
Count hair.
Yeah, those guys' cute little hats. I liked those. Those were cute.
There's
I was thinking of getting
bald
one.
spots. Obviously, it's a really good bald spot hider.
Yeah,
Jared
like she had no idea.
Hair. But this is where Britt does her performance. She goes, I'm sick of this bullshit. I'm sick of getting ganged up on low-hanging fruit. It's not okay. It's not okay. Fuck this. Stop calling me a victim. I'm not kidding. Leave me alone. Hire me as like center snowflake for next season. And she walks out. And then we're like, next week concludes. And we have Bronwyn telling us about the Todd father. Meredith says to, I think Bronwyn, like, don't talk to me like that. And that's pretty much it. So that was the reunion. But is there any other moment that you wanted to talk about or things that you thought about this season thus far and where we go from here?
I think the only other thing I'm curious to hear your opinions on is the Monica Garcia, and who do we think has the coke problem and who has the drinking problem?
Heather Gay. I think it's both.
Both are Heather Gay.
Well, think about it, because we've talked about this on the show, you guys. Monica Garcia started putting out some, really like intense TikToks and Instagram stories of like, well, somebody did get taken to the hospital on my cast trip. If you remember that cast trip, it was Palm Springs. And that was when Heather pissed and puked herself on camera.
Yeah.
Like, I think she had to get her stomach pumped. I also think Heather seems like, by the way, when Heather talks about this in her book, Heather was arrested on suspicion of DUI way before Housewives. And she also had a prescription for, uppers, but I think it was just Adderall. Adderall. So I do think, listen, if somebody's giving out booger sugar, I could see a world in which that might be something fun for Heather. Now, does the problem with the Monica of it all is Monica is not a reliable narrator. So you
Right.
can undercut anything that she says immediately. But I do believe there is a world in which Monica, what she is saying, that there are elements of truth to it. How do you feel?
I feel like, so something about me is I've never had alcohol before. I've never had it.
Real? You've never drank alcohol?
I don't ever plan on drinking.
Oh, you are missing out. Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. Same. No, same thing.
And I feel like I can say this and it's okay. I hate a sober housewife. I love Luann in a bush. I love Heather pissing herself. Like, I love Vicky Gunvalson in Mexico sitting on the bed and leaving a wet spot. Like, I love my housewives, the drunker the better. Kyle on her sober journey working out, I'm not interested, you know? So I don't know why we're having to hide that Heather had to get her stomach pumped. I would love to see that. That'd be great.
What also, to what we talked about earlier, it just feels like then, like, it's all about the show behind, like the show behind the show seems more interesting than the show, because it seems like these amazing things are happening behind the scenes. And then we can't truly trust what we see on screen, which they never want to solve these mysteries anyways. So what does it leave us with? Like, just tell us how you feel about each other. If you hate each other, if you're getting fucked up with each other, let us know that. Let us know the reality of your lives. I mean, that's why I think one of the reasons why we liked early Vanderpump Rules is because you knew Jax was like Jax was on something. Like, Jax was not, I mean, they weren't saying it, but the behavior was there. And I don't want, if you're going to do that, I don't want them to be protected, from their own behavior.
We just keep pretending that these women are not on a show, and that bothers me, because a whole part, like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives does it right, because they're always fighting about the show. They're always like, this is about the show, this is about the deals, the opportunities.
It works too on that show. It works.
It works so well. And I'm like, I wish that they would show these women, like, we all know why Lisa Barlow wasn't at this thing. It's because she was negotiating her contract. Like, that's why can't we just say that?
He's talking about the RV trip, you guys, on the first episode, where that was like that was pretty understood that Lisa had not signed on the dotted line yet. It wasn't Blake and Ben.
Right. And I'm just like, this is so stupid. Like, Lisa's not going to miss a girls' trip. It's her job. I think one thing about Lisa is I do think that she's a hard worker. Is she successful? That I don't know. But I think that she's a hard worker. She's not going to just bounce on her obligations. I think that she was in negotiations, and I don't know why we can't just say that. Like, that's great storyline. Like, Lisa thinks she's better than all of us. I ate that up. When I found out that Demi thought she was better than Jesse and she was willing to get Jesse off the show so she could have more money, that's great storyline.
That's great. It's great. And I mean, poor Jesse. It's thrown Jesse into a world of hurt. Jesse changed her entire face in the last month. I don't know if you said, but yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. And Lisa Barlow, I will like Lisa Barlow pretty much through anything at this point. You know, like, I mean, I'm not going to agree with you, but I like you and I don't want you to not be on the show. But at this point, who would you make any cast changes?
No. And I know that so many people are like, get this person off. But I'm like, I promise you, they'll find a way. They're going to find a way. These women care about this. Like, they are our mothers. They are our forefathers, I feel like leave it alone. Just let's see what happens. If next season is a flop, okay, but like, you can't go off of a great season, which most people say, a lot of people are saying this isn't a great season, but I still think it is, and then switch it up. I feel like we got rid of Monica Garcia. We threw Bronwyn in. It was perfect. Let's just give them one more season like this and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think they've had 2 back-to-back really great seasons. I'm not loving the reunion from just an entertainment level, even though there's so many things to talk about. So I got to remind myself. And I thought after the Below Deck episodes, it kind of dipped, but I still thought way better than all the other Housewives franchises on right now.
Seriously.
So you're a genius. What are you doing next? Which is the worst way to end an episode. You're a genius. What are you doing?
In regards to what?
Well, okay, so what do we do with the Sister Wives pod when Sister Wives goes down?
there's always going to be people out there making asses of themselves. So crazy enough or not, people love to talk about Sister Wives getting canceled, but it is one of the #1 rated cable shows. I'm like, and then people are like, no, I think that they're done. I'm like, the show's not going to end because the Browns decide it's done. It'll end because the network decides it's done. These people have no other job, no other income. Like, this is what they have to do. So I'm not worried about it going away, but I think that if it does, I mean, great. Then we make fun of somebody else. There's always more people to make fun of. And, you know, I am currently putting it out into the world that I applied to be on Traitors. And
oh my God, you did?
I did. And fingers crossed that they don't completely hate me and then just use my video as like, hey, here's some of the people we rejected for this season.
So like how intense and in-depth is your video that you had to make for the audition process?
It said just make it a couple minutes. They were very like loose with everything.
Like 30 different cuts and like here.
I clicked record and I just started talking.
See, that's what I love. I was just like, I bet they're gonna get fully produced audition videos.
Yeah.
And they would, I mean, you would kill it on that show. I'm not confident enough to put myself out there for that process, but I would love to see you on are you loving this season?
Every season gets better than the last. I love it. And
it's hard to not compare it to last season or the season before, but I still love it.
I hate Michael Rappaport, but there's again, like, I don't know. My wife and I have never really done any like BDSM shit, but I'm like, maybe I like pain, you know, like maybe I like to be hurt because I loved to hate Michael Rappaport. Like, there's something.
I used to love hating Lisa Rinna. The last season of Beverly Hills, I hated Lisa Rinna so passionately, but at the same time, I hate to say that I would like at this point bring her back because I hate this season of Beverly Hills so much, you know? And even Lisa is such a good trader that she's like truly a horrible person, I think. And, but I think it really, as a trader, it makes it really fun to watch. And Michael Rappaport, like they finally got the right amount of Michael in the 4th and 5th episodes, but I think those first 3 was so overwhelming where it just took up all the oxygen I felt, you know?
I feel like our bodies don't know the difference between love and hate. And so I go to sleep at night so fulfilled in my life because my tank is full, as Vicky would say. You know, my love tank's full in hating people.
Vicky's filming the 20th anniversary. Speaking of a 16-year-old you watching OC, they're filming as we speak. And I said this on Monday's show. What would you give? Like, we got to close up that Brooks storyline. Brooks Ayers. Wouldn't you love to see him back?
Every single night, my wife and I, we go to bed at night and we turn on only Brooks Ayers seasons of Orange County, and we watch those episodes again and again. The reunion where
I didn't say that, Brianna.
Yes, the reunion when Brianna's out there and he's out there and she's like, that voice, Girth Brooks, you know? I'm like, Brooks was such a gift to the world in such a horrible way.
No, it's like, that's what we're talking about, you guys, when we're talking about characters that, like, yes, I do not want to take any social cues for him. I don't want to hang out with him. He's a horrible person. Yes. But he did make some really decent reality television, and it's always good to have a villain in there. And he was a straightforward villain.
And I always forget that he did that like random sit down with Andy Cohen until I get to the reunion and they play it. And it's like, I love that they're like, he never gave us any sort of medical records or anything after the show. Of course.
We never heard from Brooks again. So that's my dream for the 20th anniversary, is that they bring, or even Vicky going back on OC, like, yeah, you can have your orange back, but we're going to hit you with a bunch of different things from your past.
Yes. Oh, I'm here for that. Absolutely. Like,
because I don't want to see like new tax laws. Like, oh, here's new Kodo insurance. I don't need to see a storyline about Kodo insurance laws. You know,
from what I hear, she's talking about selling Kodo and really leaning into the Housewives, which I don't know if that's the best idea. But I really hope that at some point on this road trip, I don't know if maybe the bus breaks down. Can we see Dawn one more time?
Oh God! If we like all of a sudden we see flip flops and a Corona hanging low,
yes,
and they pan up and it's done.
That's what I want.
I hope that guy's having the best life ever. Like truly, and you know he still hangs out with her kids.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does. Like, they really do consider him their dad in a lot of ways. And I thought that's one of the sweetest things. I remember I saw Counting Crows in, like in Orange County, like a couple years ago. And all of a sudden, Vicky and her new boyfriend, like, walk right behind me. And I was shocked for so many reasons. And I was like, Vicky! And Vicky stayed for like the first 3 or 4 songs and then left. And I was like, she's just here to hear Mr. Jones like the rest of them, you know? Not a true fan.
Oh God, that is true.
Also, guys, Reality Court is his other podcast. Make sure you go subscribe and rate it 5 stars. It's really good. Anakin Kostis gets all the dirt. Ace is hysterically funny. That is the one. If you want like all like inside Housewives knowledge on top of, you know, Ace, go to that on top of the Sister Wives podcast, but make sure Reality Court, especially, you rate it 5 stars and subscribe to it, because that's still a newer show than Sister Wives. So, make sure you support that, especially.
And only just even from this episode, like if you're in the comments, just say nice things about me. Like I'm super sensitive. I'm a hypocrite. I love to talk shit, but I can't take it, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's exactly my thing. I go to bed, I get so scared of any sort of because Spotify will send you notifications on comments, and it's a real mixed bag. You're just like, and it's like Russian roulette, because like sometimes I'll pop it and it'll be like a really nice one, and then sometimes it's like, you fucking idiot, and you're like, no, damn, no.
I hate when people too are like, you're such a hypocrite. I'm like, I say that myself. I know I'm a hypocrite.
Yes.
Like, I'm fully aware of the fact that I'm a little bitch who loves to talk shit, and I would be so fake to all these people's faces. Like, what more is there to say about me? I agree. Just don't say it to me.
Have a great Thursday, folks. Dude, thank you for spending all this time with me and with us, dude. I really appreciate it. This has been a long time coming, and I hope you want to talk to me again at some point. So
thank you. I love you. And will you marry me?
Circle jerk. Yeah.